It is okay for us to be recognized and validated by others, but we also need to be able to do that for ourselves.
Being able to formulate your own opinion and standing firm on it.
And if you don't know your own opinion about something, it's okay to say, I don't have enough information on this to form an opinion about it. I think it's a good practice to get in the habit of describing yourself. What am I talented at? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Again, being self-aware. Hey guys, welcome back to the Real Relatable podcast.
I'm your host, Abby.
And I'm Summer. And today we are talking about how to be your authentic self, how to be your true self. In your opinion, what do you think it means to be your true self? When and where do you feel your most truest?
When I'm by myself.
Yeah? So like just at home, chilling?
At home, yeah, chilling.
Yeah, I honestly think when you're in isolation, that is when you get to know yourself most, because it is the time where you are not weighted by everybody else's opinions, thoughts, feelings, stories, even sometimes things that people tell you. I believe personally from my own experience that like their energy can rub off on you. And sometimes you can even pick up mannerisms from other people. You start to talk like other people. And when you're actually by yourself, that's when you get to know what your personality is like. What's my actual humor? What's my actual thought process, you know?
Yeah, what is it that you enjoy doing? What about you? When do you feel like you're your most authentic self?
I do feel pretty authentic when I am by myself. But I also feel like my most authentic self when I'm with my family. Like if I'm with my sisters, but at the same time, if you're isolated for too long, it is so easy to be susceptible to like negative thinking. I think when I'm with my family, it's like that sense of who I am when I'm by myself, but then like minus any negativity. It's just like that. All the good things about me come out in those moments when I'm with them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like I'm the most happy version of myself, the most smiley version, the warm version of myself. When I'm at work, I'm like the most professional version of myself, but probably the most cold version of myself. Yeah. I think with my friends, I still am very much myself, but I might put on a little bit of a front where I might like clean up my home before they come over. I might like get ready and like present myself a little bit nicer before they come over because I don't know. I guess I think when we're really comfortable with people, we don't care for them to see our shadow sides. And so around my family, it's like I don't care for them to see my shadow sides. And around my friends, I think I still care. Yeah.
That's fair. Do you find it's because you've been with your family since day one?
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things that makes it easy. And I think the fact that a lot of my friends are childhood friends, it also makes it easy because, again,
You've known them for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely more reserved at work. Like I feel like I'm not a very expressive person in general with friends, at work, with family. I'll talk to myself a little now and again. I'll be a little bit more expressive I'll let myself be more emotional.
Yeah.
I guess like I'm not afraid to cry by myself. I'm not afraid to.
Would you be afraid to cry in front of your friends?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm just an emotional person, so I'd probably cry in front of anyone. But I wouldn't want to.
Like at work too?
I try like to put a time and place, but I have cried at work before. I try not to, like, I wouldn't do it in front of my coworkers, but like I'd go to the bathroom and cry. I've done that before. Okay. So it's very important to figure out what environments and with what people do you feel the most at home? Do you feel like your truest self? And not even just like your truest self, but the favorite version of yourself, the version of yourself that you like. Because some of us can feel very comfortable maybe in our family dynamics, right? But if our family dynamics aren't very healthy, then that might not be the best environment for us to grow. Getting to know yourself is probably number one to learning who you really are and being your authentic self, is getting to know what you like, what you don't like. I think sometimes a lot of us believe we're depressed or we're stressed or we just think that things are internal. And a lot of the times it is. A lot of our issues are internal. But sometimes, especially when you're young, it's actually just your environment. A lot of the times it's the negative people around you and the negative environment. It is okay for us to be recognized and validated by others, but we also need to be able to do that for ourselves. You can't rely on external validation. And being authentic is not caring, is not needing that external validation, is being okay with it, but not needing it. If you don't like things about yourself, then change them. And I know that sounds easier to say than do, but you can change them. If you don't like your body, you can change it. And I would always recommend changing it by healthy means and not just jumping to surgery or something. But you can change your life. If there's something you don't like, a trait you don't like about yourself, you can change it.
You do have a choice. You don't have to be comfortable staying there.
Yes. You don't have to stay stuck or stagnant in your growth. You can decide. And that's why I always say, like, you don't have to commit suicide to kill yourself or to kill your old life. You can decide to change and say, you know what? I am dead to the person that I was before. That person who had all those negative traits or who projected or who hurt so many people. I'm not going to be that person anymore. I'm going to be a different person. And maybe it doesn't change overnight, but day by day, you can become a different person. If you're forming daily habits and you're forming a daily routine that is for your highest good and benefits others around you, then you'll be fine. If you don't change anything and you just continue every day, just like, I hate my life, I wish things were different, but I'm not doing anything, nothing will change.
Nothing will get better.
No one is going to come and save you and take care of you and give you $1 million and make your life better.
That requires a lot of discipline, like to start making those positive changes in your life and being consistent.
And because it's not always motivation, it is discipline. It is not your mood. It is making the choice that regardless of how I feel or what's happening around me, I am going to get up and do what I need to do. Being true to your word. If you have certain goals and certain things that you want to do, then you have to commit to them. You're not going to be able to trust yourself and say that, oh, I want to be healthy and I want to work hard and I want to grow, but you're not doing anything in your daily routine or in your life to change that. You have to become a parent of yourself.
What was the first step for you becoming your authentic self? Like, what were the first steps that you started implementing to get there?
For me, I think it was acceptance, accepting that I was different. As I've probably mentioned in other videos, but you know, I grew up in a school where I was like me and my family were like the only race in the entire school. So I already felt different from a young age. And so I had to accept that already. And once I accepted that there was differences about me, that everyone around me has straight hair and I have curly hair, I have darker skin than everyone around me, then I was able to be myself. Because when I accepted myself, the other people around me accepted me as well. And so I think it was acceptance. It was just like, okay, I don't fit in, and that's okay. Now, what am I going to do? I'm just going to be myself. And that my friends were so accepting because they could have not have been. Mm-hmm. And I could have felt outcasted, but I wasn't. Don't be afraid to say how you truly feel about things, to express your opinions, your thoughts, your feelings, and to not be afraid to speak up for yourself or to speak against something that does not align with your values.
Yeah, being able to formulate your own opinion and standing firm on it. At times I can be easily persuaded, like, because I try to look at the situation or scenario in a bigger picture, and then I can kind of see both sides and then be like agreeing to both sides.
And if you don't know your own opinion about something, it's okay to say, I don't know enough about this topic, or I don't have enough information on this to form an opinion about it. And that's okay to say too. But I would also suggest that you get curious about things and you actually figure out how you feel about things. If you don't know how you feel about politics, look it up. Ask ChatGPT what's going on in the world. It'll tell you in point form as if you're a child. Learn how you feel about things. Being your authentic self is definitely setting boundaries. It is stating what you're willing to do and you're not willing to do, and not compromising on it if it is not aligned with your values. I think another way of being your authentic self is finding what we said earlier, like what you enjoy, but what to express yourself through. And that can be art, that can be music, that can be sports, that can be
the way you present yourself, your style,
yes,
your hair.
tattoos, joining a kickboxing class, pottery, dance, just developing different parts of your personality and learning what you're good at, what you're not good at, what you're passionate about. You can't really be your authentic self if you don't know what your authentic self is. And an easy way to figure that out is to think about what you really loved as a child, what you were so passionate about as a child. And for me, that was songwriting. Like when I was a kid, I used to write jingles all the time, like little commercial jingles. And I always loved writing my whole life. And till this day, that's still one of the things that gives me the most joy. And so if you find a hobby, a talent, something to express yourself through, that so helps. And especially if you have anger or like strong emotions, expressing your emotions through those avenues rather than projecting on the people you love around you is so much more therapeutic and so much more of a healthy way.
Mm-hmm. As a kid, I loved my family used to go camping all the time, like tent camping or going swimming. So I enjoy being out in nature. I don't do it enough, but now that it's getting warmer out, I will try. Like when it was last year, me and my two friends, we went to a water park, and I've never laughed. I felt like I forgot how fun it was, and I was laughing so hard. But yeah, just like, I don't know, doing things that you enjoy doing as a child, you can do it as an adult and still have fun.
I think if you're staying true to yourself, then you would take care of yourself and you would love yourself. And to take care of yourself and love yourself is to do all the things that accompany that, which means making sure you're going to bed on time and that you're eating right and that you're working out and that you're working and spending time with friends and having hobbies and doing things that you're passionate about, and you're journaling and you're figuring out your thoughts. You're going to therapy if you're overwhelmed and stressed with life. You're going to the doctors if you're sick and you don't know what's wrong with you. You are taking action in every period of your life and you're not giving up on yourself. You're showing up for yourself every day. When you're authentic, you are disciplined. And yeah, it doesn't matter what your mood is. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. There's no days off. And that doesn't mean you have to give 100% every day. Sometimes you can only give 20%, but you show up every day. And of course, like I'm always going to recommend reading, like learning, meditation, tuning into your spirituality. For me, all these things help with accepting yourself and being your authentic self, growing. And of course, not everyone is spiritual. Not everyone believes in the things that I do. But I think finding your own unique things really helps. Because when I look at those things, it's like how I can identify myself. You know, it's like I am a podcaster. I am a songwriter. I am a sister. I am a friend. I am my job occupation that I'm not going to mention. Just like all these different versions of myself that I can describe. And I think it's a good practice to get in the habit of describing yourself, of getting to know, like, what am I talented at? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Again, being self-aware.
And figure out what your values and beliefs are.
Reflect on what your beliefs mean to you, and if you have some self-limiting beliefs, because you can carry self-limiting beliefs from your family, from your upbringing, from old relationships, and figure out whether you need to take away some beliefs and whether those beliefs are even yours. Are those beliefs authentic to you, or is that your parents' beliefs? As I was saying with acceptance, embrace what makes you different. Embrace the things that stand out about you and the things that
let go of people pleasing. Allow yourself to be real and authentic, and surround yourself with people that you can do that with or feel safe and comfortable. Be open to it. Like, you can't be closed off to meeting new people and then having a front or a guard. Like, you're not allowing yourself to be real and authentic. You're not really giving them a chance to get to know who you are.
And if you are someone who struggles very hard with expressing themselves, I would, highly recommend that you have at least one trusted friend or family member or someone that you practice expressing your true thoughts, opinions, and whatnot with. And again, somebody that you trust and that it feels safe, that it's not going to be used against you or anything like that. And you just practice being safe at least with one person. Doing it with the one person is how you would practice to do it with the rest of the world.
Okay, that's true.
You know, because that's what you'd want to aim for, is to be your authentic self in every situation. Mm-hmm. That kind of lack of authenticity, where I had friends that when it was just me and them one-on-one, so cool. They're the best person ever. Like, I wish that the rest of the world could see what I see in them. And then one other person gets in the room and they're overcompensating for everything, and they're like a whole different personality. They're now performative and they're putting on an act, and they're not even being honest. And I'm just like, what are you doing? Like,
will that person be then insecure?
Yes.
They don't trust themselves.
They don't trust themselves, and they're overcompensating, and they feel like they have to be performative and do whatever the other people in the room are expecting of them. They need to be humorous, or they need to be whatever to be liked. And when they're one-on-one with you, it's like, yeah, they're the real person. And I used to be so offended by that. I used to like take it real personal. And then I had that, and that awareness of like, oh, you know, like that's actually them being really insecure and needing to overcompensate. They act weird when other people get in the room and they start lying and they start making up things, and because they don't feel secure in themselves. And they're only real with me because I've given that grace and that compassion for them to be their true selves around me. Being the same person no matter what room you're in is when you know you're your true self. And of course, you can turn it down and turn it up depending on where you are, because if you're naturally a very charismatic, expressive, over-the-top, dramatic person, and then you go to work and you bring that energy, that may not be liked by HR, okay? But so you can tone it down, but still be your same self. If you're not present, it's hard to be happy. It's hard to be at peace with yourself. It's hard to feel secure because you're always thinking of what you could have done better or how things could have been different. And the truth is, nothing can change the past.
You're missing the opportunity in the present moment to do different.
Exactly.
To be different.
Exactly.
Let go of fear. Don't make decisions based off of what you fear. Fear is what holds you back from being your authentic self. Fear of like worst case scenario, like when you're going through life and you're thinking of, okay, if I express myself or I say this, like what's the worst scenario?
A lot of it does happen to be childhood wounds. So if you had parents that you couldn't express yourself, or if you did, there was a negative consequence. So it taught you not to express yourself because whenever you did, there was a negative consequence. And again, that doesn't have to just be childhood. That could be just you're in a relationship in your adulthood, or you're at work or with friends, and whatever the environment is, you tried to express yourself and you were either humiliated, rejected, or some kind of trauma that you carry forward and now aren't able to express yourself. You have to accept that, heal from it, and understand that, not everyone's going to accept you. Some people will make you feel rejected. Some people will make you feel like you don't fit in, but that's okay. You have to accept that. You have to get over that the whole world isn't going to like you. But the ones that matter will.
We hope that you enjoyed today's episode and that you were able to take something away from it and are one step closer to being your authentic self.
We'll see you in the next video. Bye.